I like I think it was the William Hartnell missing episodes special edition. They said it was like a really brilliant best ever story or something like that. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Dalek Invasion of Earth, I think, was a very good high point of the season. It was wonderful. Yeah. And I said my favourite bit is when they're in the spaceship and William Hartnell's trying to escape from this sort of, I suppose, prison cell, if you want to call it that. And he uses refraction of light to escape. So, which I thought was marvellous. You know, he's using some educational science to.
I think me and my friend did like an episode review of that on our other channel, and we kind of criticised it quite a bit.
What, Dalek Invasion of Earth? Yeah, I mean, I suppose if I had to have a problem with it, I suppose Robomen were not really particularly well robotised. No, realised.
Yeah.
6 episode. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think it dragged too much for me. I thought the characters were all right.
I think episodes 3 and 4 are quite pointless, really. In that.
The Slither, yeah. The Slytherin is nearly on us. What the hell is that thing? And then when it falls down, oh gosh, that's someone's granny who's dressed up as something out of Halloween. But
I like the person who played the Slither.
Yeah,
he's quite interesting guy.
We had a few hidden gems of characters in that. There's quite a few well-known actors in that Dalek Invasion of Earth. Rescue was good, I think. Rescue is quite underrated, I think, as a story, but it's the ending. It's the ending. It's rushed. Maybe it could have been a 3-parter with a proper ending. Because what happened with these guys from the spaceship? What were they doing underground or in this sort of hidden place? It's just a bit weird. The Romans, I think, was fantastic. It's funny. It's just all these separate stories, but they don't pronounce whatever character William Hartnell's meant to be, whether it's meant to be Battalion or Petulian or Petolian, I don't know. It's all pronounced wrongly all the time, but fabulous story, and the guy who plays Nero is just so funny as well. Very well realised story.
Yeah.
Toby likes the chase, but I don't.
Yeah, the chase is good.
I think it's a very good story.
I said I didn't like Peter Purvis doing 2 roles, Morton Dill and then the thing. I thought it was a bit, you know, coincidental in the same story. I thought the pointless funfair place they went to, you know, was...
The robots,
well, the Daleks are pretty crap in that. Cause
it was good when the Daleks attacked, when the Dracula attacked the Daleks. I like that bit.
Yeah, that was pretty
Smash them to pieces.
The Iridians are probably one of the worst I've ever seen characters. I mean,
I liked it when that person he was exterminated. He just walked over here and just killed.
To the Daleks. These big blobs come out of nowhere.
On the Myra beasts.
I feel like I think it's Dracula throws a Dalek in the air or something.
Yeah, I like that bit.
When I see this man, sort of, you know, and Barbara's trying to help, leave him, Barbara.
Oh, I like that bit. Yeah, when the Myra beast is attacking that Iridian, and the Doctor's pulling her away, saying, "Come on, come on!" And she wants to save it. Imagine that poor thing was eaten by that disgusting blob.
Daleks in the sand. It makes that funny noise, doesn't it?
Oh, I hate you. In that story, they make human noises like
Yeah,
that thing is this.
With Dalek having an orgasm as well.
Like when it was in the Dalek ship, it went the reading is this.
Yeah, and then after that, I mean, I think the Time Meddler was a good story.
Oh, yeah.
I love Peter Butterworth and the monk.
Quite overrated. I think it's a good story.
I think it was just simply because you had another tunnel, but the Viking invasion. I mean, why was there a handful of Vikings? You know, I mean, sure there would have been more than about 4 or 5. So you get a little band of Vikings, and one of them rapes some woman, and that's about it. You know, surely there would have been a bit more than that. But I think season 2 was a good season. I think it was a good progress from season 1. And then season 3 was a strong season. We start off with Galaxy Fall, which was average start of the season.
I like Galaxy Fall.
Chumblies, I don't know, they're not meant to be particularly like a monster or anything, but things that turn out to be too cute don't always work.
The adipose.
Love the reels. I think they were brilliant.
Yeah, the reels are really good.
Dravins were good in episode 3 because Marga just goes mad. You know, when you see the newly discovered episode 3.
Says that the Dravins came back in the Pandora opens, but I never saw them there.
Yeah, supposedly. But I don't think they were there. I don't think they were there visually. I don't think they were mentioned, as far as I remember.
Well, they were killed off when the planet exploded.
What, the Dravins? Well, probably... Well, those ones did, but maybe some of their, descendants may still be alive. But I think it was a good concept, that story. I mean... then, of course, we have the wonderful... Mission to the Unknown, which I think is a very good, very chilling.
Heard that story. I want to.
It's very, very chilling. I love the Varga plants, with people turning into them, and very sort of claustrophobic type episode because they're in the jungle and the Daleks, are around. They know their presence is there, and obviously everyone dies. I mean, even Mark Corey, who's a special space security agent, dies at the end of the episode, and you think, what's going to happen next? That cassette, we don't obviously know whether the recording has survived the Daleks' extermination of Mark Corey. And it leads us nicely into, was it the Mythmakers? The Mythmakers, wasn't it? Yes, with the Mythmakers, and that was okay story. I think, again, it suffered like the Reign of... Was it the Reign of Terror, I said? Which had a lot of dialogue. A lot of talking, the Reign of Terror, rather than action. I think the Mythmakers suffered from that.
Reign of Terror, a good story? Or...
Reign of Terror is a good story, but you have to be patient. There's a lot of talking, a lot of political type chats in that.
I can imagine a story like that's quite political.
There's some funny bits, like Robespierre's being shot in the jaw, and the guillotine, and a lot of conspiracy and various other things, but generally good Reign of Terror. And the Mythmakers is similar in that respect, because they think that William Hartnell's Zeus, don't they, originally? So, but Maureen O'Brien never liked her ending because she went off with Troilus, and she never liked that. She thought it was a bit sad, and me going off with some man from ancient Greece, but. I think it was an okay story. I can't really say it's the worst in the world. And then afterwards, Dalek Master Plan. Yes.
Isn't it the Smugglers that's Stephen Lee's, or was it the Savages? I can't quite remember.
Which one?
I think it's...
Oh, Stephen, yes. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, it was the Savages he left in. Yeah, it was a bit of a sad ending. There is a clip of that on 8mm. I think it's a full screen. There's a small clip of that of him leaving. Yeah, that's quite sad to see Stephen go.
Because Ben and Polly are in the Smugglers. I just remembered that.
Oh yeah, the Smugglers is a good story. Dalek Master Plan is brilliant. I mean, you've heard that one, haven't you? Or have you not?
I've watched the 3 surviving episodes and they're really good, but I haven't actually listened to the audio.
I would say episode 1 is brilliant. Of the Dalek Master Plan. 2 is very good. That find. Episode 3, 4, 5, 6, a lot of action develops. I mean, I think, even though it's a 12-parter, I think it deserves to be a 12-parter. There's a lot to it, a lot to the Daleks' plans, and it was good that they had that Feast of Stephen in the middle, just to, a nice little festive episode, take it away from where it was, and then the following week, bring us back to the heart of the epic end to the story. But like I said to Toby, Katerina was wiped out of the programme very soon, and I think it's a shame.
She was meant to be a companion, wasn't she?
I know they wanted a shock, but that's a bit soon. And of course we lost Brett Vine very quickly, and then we lost Sarah Kingdom. We lost quite a few people, and I know the Dalek Master Plan wanted that effect. He wanted that effect to make people think, oh well, it's not always rosy in Doctor Who, people do die. And this was the first time, and I suppose looking back, I can't be too critical. I always forget the story that's straight after Dalek Master Plan. I'm trying to think in my head now what it was after the Dalek Master Plan.
I've got the William Hartnell sort of guide on my phone.
It must be. Could be the massacre, couldn't it?
It is the massacre.
Is it the massacre?
Bartholomew's Eve.
Yeah, you might not know anything about the massacre, might you?
I haven't heard anything about the massacre, but I know the story. But
it's the first proper story with a Hartnell double, because he played both the Abbot of Amboise and the Doctor.
The massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve.
And I think that story worked quite well. I mean, again, it is quite a dialogue-y one, but I think this one being 4 parts, it works.
Yeah.
And it's a good affiliation, because obviously the Doctor and Stephen separate from each other.
Yeah.
And that works very well, because then when Stephen sees what he thinks is the Doctor, but it's the double, there's a wonderful cliffhanger at the end of every episode, and it's like, the Doctor lying dead on the street, and he thinks, oh my goodness, the Doctor's dead. And you look at that and you think, the lifeless body, but it's actually the Abbot of Amboise who's been shot.
Okay.
So I like that. That was quite a nice twist. But the weird thing at the end is Dodo, sort of descendants after another chaplet, it's a descendant of Anne Chaplet. Well, they assume that she's a descendant. Comes in the TARDIS somehow, and then we move on to the Ark, don't we? I think.
The Ark.
Which I think is a lovely story. It's got a nice twist to it, because obviously when they first go to the planet, it's the monoids who are the slaves, and the people, the human type people who are the masters of the planet. And obviously at first they give the virus, which obviously they're not very happy with Dodo. It sneezes. So, but when they go back, seeing that statue and the monoids in power,
yeah, the monoids are really
very good. The reverse. The only thing though is we already had the Visians in the Daleks Master Plan that were invisible, and then we get the Refusians in the Ark that are also invisible. So there was no creativity there. Why have another invisible monster? I mean, it's not very creative. And they were so ridiculous though. Yes, Doctor? Yes, you will find it in the corner over there. It's just like, what? His voice, it might as well have been Stephen Fry, just giving directional points to the actors. But no, it was a good story. A bit of a lacklustre battle scene at the end, really, because the monoids were a bit slow. And sort of fighting each other, weren't they, the monoids? And
fighting the Fusians. Underrated story.
Yeah, I still think it's very good, considering. I remember when I used to, I think it was like a montage of clips at one point I saw. I can't remember if it was the 40th anniversary one on the DVDs. And I remember seeing the monoid faces, or it might have been on the 30. Yeah, it was on more than 30 years in the TARDIS documentary. I think right at the beginning they have like a montage of clips when they get going, and there's a clip of a monoid shooting or something. But the Ark is very enjoyable. Yeah, I agree with that. You're still filming me.
Yes.